Happy Chaos, the so-called gunslinging broken messiah of Guilty Gear. Despite nerf after nerf, he remains a very strong character with a versatile toolkit. However, to fully unlock his potential, you need great technical execution and awareness. So, how difficult would he actually be to take to the top? Well, first let's go over the rules of this challenge. The rules of Scrub to Vanquisher are simple. Number 1. Keep playing ranked until every character is in Vanquisher. Number 2. I cannot switch characters while climbing. Number 3. After getting Vanquisher, I have to play in it for at least 2 hours to see the final duel rating. Happy Chaos is my first main ever. I started playing him and fighting games in general around summer 2024, but I wasn't taking my improvement seriously until about half a year later. At the time of me starting this challenge, I had about 700 hours in Strive, most of which was on Chaos, though I mostly played casually with friends or people from Discord. While I tried other characters from time to time, HC was still the only one I went out of my way to learn optimals and tech for. Because of that, I predicted that the difficulty of reaching Vanquisher would be at about 6 out of 10, since I already have a decent amount of experience on him. As for fun, I was sure it would be a solid 10 out of 10, but oh boy, was I sorely mistaken. But you'll see what I mean later. For now, let's just see how I did on day 1. So day 1 started off pretty smooth. I was really nervous at first, booting up ranked for the first time. It kind of felt nerve-wracking and like a new experience for Strive. I was very nervous to see what my placements would even end up being. But after the initial nervousness subsided, I succeeded in placing in Platinum 3. Oh my... I didn't mean to do that. Ah, pain. Dude, what? I think I'm dead, straight up. Because this person gets super wall break and then I block that and I don't block the third overhead. Sorry, 3 overheads in a row. Okay. I see. I see how it is. Bonk. Okay, there we go. I got it. Her claw slash reaches so far up, dude. What the hell? No. The thing that would have actually, like, HT2S is nerfed, obviously, but the thing that would have actually killed it if they reduced the range. Dude, where? I don't know if I have... I know I said I'd be grinding the hell out of this game when rank drops. I don't know if I can take it. I don't know if my heart can take it. Like, ranked feels different. Knowing that you're fighting for fucking points is so, like... it's a different vibe. And Celestial, it literally does not matter. Oh! I had no reason to get hit by that, actually. I had a billion reasons not to get hit by it. Sorry, bro. I BRC'd, so I win. This game's so evil, dude. You have resource and you just... that's it, bro. Sorry. Oh, you wanted to do something? I don't know about that. I don't know. I have 50 meters, so... doesn't really matter what you want. This game is evil, man. I love it. You motherfucker. Dude, this character can do some wonderful stuff. I should have charged dust. Wall break now? I can't believe this. Holy shit. Actual comeback of the century. How the hell did that happen? By the end of day 1, I was elated. I was very happy with how things were going. I had a lot of fun playing the game in a way that is much more smooth than any of the previous experiences playing Strive ever. The lobby issues were gone, and I was climbing ranked relatively fast. With a 70 plus win rate, I took Diamond 1 in no time at all, and I started day 2 very excited. And surprising to me, day 2 went even better. I was having a lot of fun the entire time, and I was upping rank relatively fast. I reached Diamond 2 in no time, and I maintained my win rate. There were some problematic matchups. I was struggling a bit against Biken, for example, but other than that, everything seemed to be going perfectly fine. This streak even continued onto day 3 for the most part, until I reached Diamond 3. That's when things started to get a little bit tricky. At the end of day 3, I started to encounter a few more matchups that felt difficult. Mostly because of the way that the people played. I couldn't really get them with the usual stuff that I got people with. The jump-ins weren't working, the mix wasn't good enough to open them up. Something felt off. I just kind of chalked it up to me being tired by the end of day 3 at first, because why else would there be such a weird spike in losses? But that soon turned out not to be the case. Day 4 was miserable. There's no way to put it other than that. It was depressing. I went from winning most of my matches with relatively low effort into frustration and almost a 50-50 win rate, honestly, if not worse. I tried to briefly count how many times I'd gone back to Diamond 2, and then back to Diamond 3, and back to Diamond 2 again and again. And I couldn't. I lost count. I genuinely lost count. I'm not sure how many times it happened. Too much for my psyche. It was rough. Really, really rough. This motherfucker, I think this dude actually just kicked his router. Every time there was a fucking, like, checking connection notification, that guy was actually just kicking his fucking router in frustration. I swear to God. Okay, whatever. May I never be matched with that person again. Oh! Why? Okay, no. One and done. I need to remember. Bro, no. Alright. Bye. We'll see if I have any luck, honestly. Kinda not looking like it, but it is what it is. I think that if I'm not back to Diamond 3 in like half an hour, I think I'll just end the stream and I don't know. I don't know what I'll do after that. I'll think about it. Like, this person's not even blocking. Why am I losing to this shit? True. Breathing. I drew. I tried to do the FTC again. And yeah. After the abysmal day 4, I was pretty depressed, but I did not give up hope. If fighting games taught me anything, it's resilience. So I reached out to one of the people I fought a day or two before, since I recognized them from Twitter, and she agreed to play some casual games and give me advice. I didn't get any footage of that, sorry. She noted that I was jumping way too much, and my neutral felt a lot weaker than it should have been, but the thing that resonated with me by far the most was that my neutral seemed to lack confidence. As soon as she said that, I knew that was exactly it. That was the reason behind why I hit such a wall so suddenly. Once I started playing against slightly more competent opponents, I lost confidence too quickly, played too scared, and autopiloted options that were the easiest and most familiar to me. My brain scrambled to understand my opponent's patterns, and so I forgot to mix up my own. So I played predictably, got called out, and was too flustered to recover. So, with this newfound advice and a weekend of rest in between, I headed into day 5, and it went really bad. It went almost as bad as day 4, actually. I was stressing trying to implement the advice, and it was so frustrating because it felt like I was tryharding like crazy while the Slayer or Potemkin or whoever else I was fighting were just getting such insane rewards for the smallest fumbles. I felt so defeated when all this advice was going to waste and I just wasn't getting the results I wanted, despite trying so hard. That's when I realized, well, not then, but like the day after that, I shouldn't try hard. It sounds weird, but let me explain. Fighting games are really intense for me, so much so I sometimes forget to breathe and my whole body kind of tenses up. Despite what some might believe, that is not peak performance. Normally, what you desire is flow state. When you're in flow, you are concentrated, but not tense. You play the best you can, but you don't forget that you're playing a game. In a way, it should almost feel effortless. This might not apply to tournaments, I don't know, when there are additional stakes. I don't have experience with that in the same way, but when playing ranked, why would I not just play to have fun? Tryharding is the wrong answer. Staying aware of your mistakes, actively thinking about the game, and having fun all at the same time is the goal. Always. I need to prevent myself from thinking about what should happen and instead focus on the now. Did they deserve the win? Who cares? My opponent DP'd on Wake Up 3 times in a row? Are they a mashing scrub? I don't know, okay? I'll just pick the option that beats what they've been doing. You're not solving a Rubik's Cube. You're playing a game against another person. So play a game. Have fun. Do the things that are interesting and cool. Mixing up my options is more interesting in neutral anyway, and if it doesn't work out, so be it. I'll just do it enough that I understand the pattern of when it works and when it doesn't. And as soon as I started implementing that approach, my results slowly but surely started to even out. Well, to be completely honest, day 6 was still not fantastic, but I did definitely start noticing my own patterns better, both in game and mentally. I found better ways to prevent myself from tilt and focus on the game in the right way, so while my ranked points didn't improve significantly, my mental did. And I knew that I was getting better long term. This continued into day 7, where I started to finally climb some more bit by bit. I was no longer at risk of getting pulled back down to Diamond 2 and fluctuated firmly in the middle of Diamond 3. But the real miracle happened on day 8, the final day. To be frank, my expectations were low. I thought maybe I'd hit 43k MR and ended there, but something felt different. Somehow, even when I messed up, I recovered in just the right way. I was finally not low on resources that I kept running out of previously. I was even doing the FDC 50-50 safe jump, which to me was basically the final boss of Happy Chaos Stack because of how challenging the input is to learn and pull off consistently. This huge spike is all day 8. Especially the latter half, after I properly warmed up and locked in. It felt almost surreal how effortless some of the matches felt. Well, some. way more than other people do. What? Wow! I backdashed. Are you? Why? Regardless, best of all, I got Vanquisher after playing one of my worst matchup I ran into during this whole climb. I'm not great at expressing that kind of stuff, but the roller coaster of emotion was truly unreal. I did not think it would happen today at all. Wait, what the hell? I cannot believe that I did this today. Now all that was left was to play in Vanquisher for a couple of hours, find out what my final rating is, and give my thoughts on character weaknesses and strengths. What? My 2K didn't come out. My shot didn't come out? And just like that, I went from a surefire win into like ambiguous territory where I'm gonna get burst baited and die. What? Sorry, that was loud. What? Okay. I'm just pressing buttons, holy shit. Oops. Okay. I lost all grip on reality, I think. Yeah, that day did not go very well, I'm gonna be honest. For some reason, I just didn't play well that day, and things like that happen. Unfortunate, but I ended up being pretty much the bottom HC on the leaderboard, which is fine. I was a little bit bummed out that I'm gonna have such a low rating until it inevitably resets while I take other characters up in rank. But, you know, it is what it is. It's going to be that much more interesting to actually come back to Strive and come back to Chaos and see how I do in the future after I've completed the challenge. Alright, well... okay, thoughts? It is points, and I do have like an understanding of, you know... It's not a huge deal, you know? What I want to say about Chaos is... He's very hard. Like, I feel a very strong difference between when I'm locked in and when I'm not. Like, I feel like it feels so different when you're on top of everything and when you're managing resources properly, when you're doing all the different setups and using all the different options he has versus when you're not doing that for whatever reason. And the difference in outcome is so drastic. He becomes like a really bad character if you don't utilize all of his tools properly. He doesn't have like built-in mix the way that, you know, Elfelt or Slayer or somebody like that does. He doesn't have a lot of health. He's not gonna do that much damage unless you're getting like counter hit close slash or something. So I feel like he requires a lot of mental energy to play. He's very freeform, but he's also very demanding. That's the way he feels. He does feel very strong though. He feels quite strong for sure. Like, I'm not here to downplay it at all. I think that Habikus is a very strong character. Is he the strongest? I don't think so. I don't think he's top one or anything like that. Some people have been saying that, and I disagree. He's probably in the top 5 for sure, alongside like Pot or Chip or, you know, people like that. Millia is really good right now. Holy shit. All of the strengths that the character has come with like an asterisk, you know? Like, you have very strong neutral, asterisk. You have very strong offense, asterisk, you know? Your defense is actually not that terrible. Like, you don't have a reversal, right? You have very low health, etc., but like, your 2P is decent, and you get a lot on mashing correctly because of, you know, if you have bullets, at least. Like, if you're already good at defense, the reward you're gonna get from defense is gonna be better. So a lot of his strengths have an asterisk of, if you use them, like, if you use the tools that the character has to their maximum potential, he's very strong. If you're not on top of your game, or if you're not a super experienced player, like, he's hard, man. He's really hard. And I think that it's kind of funny to like point to that and be like, oh, it's okay that he's really strong because he's hard, guys. But like, if you see top players mess up Happy Chaos deck and miss out on reward for that, like that should be taken into account, right? If your mental stack is already overloaded, thinking about your own shit and the things that your character can do in the moment, then it's going to be that much harder to keep up with the character you're playing against. So I think, I don't know, only really strong, like top 3 maybe right now, if you're a pro player, like if you're trying to win tournaments and stuff. But I feel like for most people that are below that level, below the like 0.1%, he loses power quicker and quicker. I'll see if that's true when I try others, for sure. But that's the way I feel about him right now. And there you have it. As for the final ratings, I predicted that I would have 10 out of 10 fun, and that turned out to be not quite true. But honestly, because a lot of it was due to tilt and ego that I already built up from playing the character for so long, I can't give it below a 9. It was still a lot of fun and I love the character lots. And honestly, I think if I came into it with the right mentality, it would have been a 10 out of 10, straight up. As for difficulty, I did not expect it to be as hard as it turned out to be. A lot of the people at higher level were calling out things that I did that were fake, that were predictable, so I had to actually think about my offense and kind of develop on the autopilot that I developed before this. The number of games it took to get to Vanquisher was 676. And after playing in Vanquisher for a couple hours, my final score was 1,334. Pretty damn bad. I'm definitely gonna miss playing Happy Chaos, especially considering who I got next on the Wheel of Fate, but I'm definitely gonna miss playing Happy Chaos, especially considering the character I'm going to get next on the Wheel of Fate. These are all the characters I have. I don't have Bedman, Gold Lewis, or Johnny, so I'm not gonna play any of them, but God, I hope, I don't know. There's some characters I really don't want it to be. I want to like leave them for later. Okay, whatever. Dude, it could have been Viking. It could have been Viking. I would have been so happy with Viking. Okay. Anji. Anji is cool, but he's not as cool as Viking, okay? He's not as cool as Viking. I also wanted to give a shout out to Revi or Violet, who I ran into and ranked like a dozen times in a row at least, who actually turned out to be really cool and even rated me at some point. In general, aside from a couple of rage quitters and one and doneers, a lot of people came in the chat to just say GG's and talk about the game a bit. So despite my next character being Anji Mito, I'm still looking forward to it a lot. Although my brain has been all about 2XKO recently, so I will not be able to devote quite as much time to Strive as I want to. I want to play both of those games still, and I'll definitely play Strive well into 2026. So yeah, I look forward to doing more. Subscribe if you like this video, because there will be more like it in the future. I'm still getting better at this. This is a little bit scuffed, but hopefully I improve with time, both in fighting games and video editing. See ya!